Dude, Luke, the printer's still busted. What the fuck, man? How's it going, everybody? Welcome to episode 15 of the Topless Robot podcast. My name is Ryan.
And I'm back.
And Brooks.
Because Brooks is taking his time over there. What is he doing?
And I'm the man with a million V-Bucks, Dan.
You had 1 million V-Bucks and you didn't ransom me?
Do you know how many skins I can buy with that?
I assume that there's a reason that you're here.
They got really annoyed with me.
Okay, that makes sense. So Dan gets to keep his V-Bucks.
Oh, yeah, I was not going to give away million V-Bucks to you.
Dan called. Was that what you were doing? You were calling their bluff? You knew they'd let me go?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
no, it wasn't because I wanted to keep my V-Bucks. I just knew you'd be safe. It's okay.
No, totally.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I'm so happy that you care.
Super toast.
No, I got your back, dude.
So happy. So happy that you all care so much about me.
Well, you totally weren't in Seattle.
I totally wasn't. Definitely not.
That helmet was on far too long.
But if were you having trouble getting that off the whole time? Is that what was going on?
No, it was like pinching my head.
Helmets shouldn't do that.
Yeah, no. So
Nobody tells me how to live my best life.
Is your best life when you're wearing a helmet that pinches your head?
Don't.
That's a little bit of a sad best
Don't
life.
hate me because I'm beautiful.
that's not why we hate you.
Nope.
This week saw a couple of trailer releases. The new Men in Black International,
Which looks incredible.
which is basically just Thor Ragnarok. It's space,
and Liam Neeson.
yeah,
I'm cool with it.
yeah. I mean, I didn't know that it was in production. I didn't know that it was a thing that was being made, and then this trailer dropped, and I was like, oh, okay, actually, that looks like a movie that I do want.
That is actually how most people find out that movies are coming out.
Well, usually there's like an announcement or something like, hey, we're in production on X, and you don't get the trailer until a year after they started production.
Sure.
If I remember right, Men in Black, the last Men in Black didn't do amazing.
Talking about the one where they go back in time.
Yeah.
And it's Josh
the
Brolin.
third
It
one,
wasn't
right?
super
Yeah.
well received. I don't
Yeah.
remember.
I don't think that one did very well. Honestly, I don't think that 2 did super well either. Because 2 was the one with Johnny Knoxville, right?
Was Johnny Knoxville in that?
Yeah, he was the two-headed dude. The dude who had a second head that was attached to a fucking
shit.
tentacle,
Yes,
basically.
yeah.
That was the
yeah.
one with Michael Jackson in it. The second one.
Michael Jackson was in that?
Yeah.
Like, actually in that?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's been a long time. It's been.
I know,
a
right?
decade
Like,
since I've
that
seen movie. I
just
can't
dated
remember.
that for me. Like, Michael Jackson died in what, 2008?
I don't know.
Yeah, something like that.
Does this look like a man who knows when Michael Jackson died?
All I know is that when he died,
Michael Jackson transcends.
that was it.
God damn it. Brooks. Brooks. You never cease to disappoint me.
Michael Jackson died in 2009, actually.
Okay.
And then
Well, that was it.
Ah, damn it, man. And then now I'm struggling to remember what the other trailer dropped. We finally got a full trailer on something that I, for some reason, can't remember now.
we got a good look at.
We got a full Hellboy trailer.
Oh yeah,
I
Doom
haven't
Patrol.
actually seen that
Doom
yet.
Patrol.
Oh yeah, and Doom Patrol.
Oh
as
yeah.
well,
All I know is that I got excited because I love Timothy Dalton like a lot.
Brendan Fraser is in that.
Yeah,
he's
so
playing
they-
that robot guy.
Oh,
So they
fucking yes.
introduced Doom Patrol in Titans.
I heard about that.
And so it's all the same actors playing the characters as they were in Titans. And this is going to be a DC Universe series, from my understanding.
on the
Yeah.
streaming service.
So I'm looking forward to that.
I
I
am
think
too.
that'll be interesting.
Alan Tudyk, Timothy Dalton, and Brendan Fraser. I'll watch anything with
And
those three actors.
Cyborg. I didn't think that they were going to be able to have Cyborg in one of those DC Universe properties because
Is it the same actor that they got in the?
I don't think so.
Okay, so it's
I
gonna
don't
be
think
a
it is.
separate universe.
Similarly to how like the cinematic universe is entirely separate from the CW bullshit series.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm hopeful for that.
I am too.
I'm still fingers crossed hopeful for Hellboy.
Okay, the first thing I thought when I saw the Hellboy trailer was
Heck boy.
no, not quite that. Good
How
try.
did you know?
Good try. No, the first thing I was like, honestly, it was just why? It's the same movie. Like I've not seen anything in these trailers that differentiate it from the original, and it's not that it's going to be bad. But like when they were like marketing it at first, it was supposed to be a new direction for the series, and I just saw it and I'm like, okay,
Yeah, the idea was that it was meant to be less slapsticky, right?
I thought it was supposed to be more slapstick.
Or more slapsticky?
If I remember right. It was supposed to be funnier and like, or no, that's right. It was supposed to be darker. You're right. It was supposed to be darker. It was supposed to be darker and
Dark.
And I mean, so far everything that they've shown in the trailers has been like goofiness. It's been
the same exact tone.
Yeah. So I'm hopeful for it because I like the character and I like the universe. It borrows a whole lot from the Cthulhu mythos and things like that. And it's Mike Mignola's.
As long as Niles is still involved.
I don't think he is.
Oh, well, never mind.
I'm fairly certain it's just full new cast.
Well, it is Fraser Crane Day, so.
Is it Fraser Crane Day?
No, I just meant like for him.
Oh, okay.
That's just why he's not there. That's gonna be the explanation.
I'm excited for David Harbour as Hellboy.
Yeah, I think that David Harbour.
Good one.
It looks good. His makeup, he looks a little bit more beaten up in the face than the original. The last, when Ron Perlman donned the horns.
I just hope that it's Swellboy and it does really, really well because I really like the concept of Hellboy and like I haven't read a whole lot of the comics just because they weren't available to me at the time, and it's like when a comic series is in vogue for a reason like a movie or something like that, it's harder for me to get into it because it's generally more expensive to get a hold of like an omnibus. Because I used to collect back issues like one at a time.
Yeah.
But that annoys me.
Yeah.
As an adult, it's like I don't want to carry this bag around with a bunch of comic books like I used to do because then they fall apart or. Someone wants to borrow one and you never get it back. And it's like, that was the one that I can't replace now. Thanks, asshole. Yeah. So
it's easier to just buy a trade paperback. Yeah. If what you're interested in is the story and not the collector's aspect of it, then it's easier to buy the trade paperback. I mean, that's what I did with Transmet. That's what I did with, I've got most of what I've got up here are trade paperbacks.
Although right before Stranger Things blew up, like the week that it hit and before it became I was super excited about it, but, like before all my friends that aren't nerds, that aren't super nerds, I guess, started watching the show and we're like, oh man, Stranger Things. I bought X-Men issue 134, like they talk about the first episode. And I made some money on that.
Oh, wow. Yeah. I didn't even think about that.
I made some money because it's like, I've read all these before. And so I just kind of quietly bought it and then I sold it back for, I doubled what I paid for it, essentially. Wow. So, it wasn't that expensive.
Sure.
But, still, a couple cheeseburgers later.
Some, hell yeah. Yeah, popular media reference immediately increases demand on a back issue.
Yup.
Yeah. So, I'm with you on I want it to do well.
Yeah.
I think that it should do well as long as it has any amount of
there's enough folks
folks
like us that liked the movies. Did you guys like the other ones?
I liked the other ones. Yeah,
they were fun. They were
Ron
fun.
Perlman was a fantastic.
Right.
I filed that.
But Ron Perlman at this point is like 70.
I filed that under the category of like
Doug
when
Jones.
comic book movies were being made at that time. You had like that, and you had Daredevil. But you also had League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, which that was a terrible movie.
Yeah.
I loved that movie.
I enjoyed it.
Much.
I thought it was fun.
The comic book is so cool. It is. There's like 2 volumes trade paperback.
Isn't that one of those movies where what's his face? James Bond, Sean Connery was like, I wish I hadn't done it.
Yeah,
Well,
it made him quit acting.
Made him quit acting. And the only reason he took it was because he turned down the role of Gandalf in Lord of the Rings because he didn't understand the script. So the next science fiction script that came across his desk, he took it without.
Should have learned his lesson after watching Zardoz.
So like he's like, I can't. It was like, FOMO if you're missing out there. So like
the script is like, I'll do it,
and it just was.
The penis is evil.
Which, to be honest, I know I'm gonna get a lot of flame here because there's a lot of comic book people that absolutely like comic book bookies that hate that movie, and it really objectively was a terrible movie compared to what's in the comics and everything. But I loved that movie as a kid.
Oh yeah, when I was a kid, I mean, when you're a kid, it's everything.
Everything's good.
It's everything a 14-year-old thinks is cool.
Yeah.
And so like there was I've watched the movie recently as an adult. I'm like.
And I haven't watched it probably since it came out, and I didn't even know that the comic existed until the movie came out.
You same.
So
I didn't. Yeah. I forget.
It was hard to be disappointed going into that because I had no lock on the source material at all.
Fortunately, the Chandler Public Library had the first volume. There are 2 volumes, and so I checked that out so many times over the summer. It was just like it's one of my favorite comics to read.
I've heard it's really, really good.
I really like the idea. It's
cool.
Definitely one of those weird out there kind of teams.
The only reason why the movie was not as good as the comic is because they were trying to do it in that same style as like Van Helsing.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Which, by the way, so a roommate of mine and I figured out a few years ago, there are some movies like Van Helsing and Brendan Fraser's hit classic from 1999, The Mummy. If you put it in black and white, if you put your screen in black and white, it looks really good, and it makes the movie more enjoyable because then it looks like the pulp stuff they're trying to be. And there's a few movies like we did that with Dune, and that made it more forgivable. So, I will kill him. The sleeper has awakened.
I'm just saying The Mummy does not need any augmentations to be a good movie. That was an objectively fantastic movie to watch.
Getting a phone call from a private number. That never happens.
Ooh, is it on the thing? Can we talk into it?
I can't make it. Actually, I could make it come through the thing, but I have to. It's ringing right now. Let me see.
The timer's gone.
Can we do it?
Probably not. It's not going to ring through to here. No.
Let's
Next Door Digest. There are hawks patrolling the what? Sorry, I was looking at your emails.
How dare you?
Patrolling what?
Everyone beware. There are hawks trolling the Val Vista Lakes area. Watch your little pets outside. Be safe.
Oh, wow.
Say goodbye to your poodle.
Jeez. That's, yeah. Anyway, not to be sidetracked. So, one thing that I noticed is in the new Hellboy trailer, they show him with the halo and the horns and everything, and it's visually nearly identical to the that same view in the Ron Perlman film.
It almost feels like Guillermo del Toro-esque in general, the whole, just the visuals in general, not even just that scene. The costumes very Guillermo del Toro. It'll be interesting to see what else is there, because...
Well, the original movies aren't that old. I mean, they're old, but they're not
They've waited longer to reboot this than they did Spider-Man.
Was it 2006 and 2008?
Think
something like that.
You're gonna have to deal with old nerds. I should say older nerds. That were around
2004.
Were around
2008
for Atomic Comics, that era of nerddom, at least locally. So you're gonna have all those people coming to see it again, or coming to see this new one, and I'm going to be pretty critical about it because, there was nothing wrong with the Ron Perlman one, blah, blah.
I liked things more when I was 15 years younger.
Yeah. And so you're going to have folks that are going into it and are going to view it with that particular eye of nostalgic criticism that say when Star Wars Episode 7 came out and we were just like, well, I mean, as long as it's better than the prequels, but it'll never be Empire. And I actually enjoyed Episode 7. Episode 8's another story, but
Episode 7 was great.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, episode 8. I
don't
liked
think
it.
I've seen episode 7 yet. Not a big Star Wars fan.
Yeah, you're wrong, but it's okay. Everyone's wrong sometimes.
No, it's
you
cool.
just more than
I mean, Star Wars
Fine,
is
man.
cool.
Star Trek's better.
Yes, Star Trek is better. On the record, Star Trek is better.
Don't get me wrong. I enjoy both. Star Trek is better.
That's fair.
We finally reached this argument, huh?
Oh,
It's only taken
It's been
this
coming
long.
a long time. It's been a long road.
It's been such a long time.
I have no strong
I
feelings
gotta-
one way or the other.
Star Wars is better. God damn it.
No, it's not.
Sorry.
It's okay.
Okay, so
to be
there was
wrong.
a statistic like 10 years ago that cited that 9 out of 10 MIT students, the guys that are now making stuff, their direct influence for going into school was not Star Wars, it was Star Trek. Specifically Star Trek. We can thank Star Trek for so much technology. Star Wars is great, don't get me wrong. I don't hate Star Wars. I
Yeah,
love
nor
it.
do I.
I was wearing that X-Wing helmet.
Yeah.
It's a fun fantasy story.
To be fair, I was going to say that.
But the
Star Wars is not
future-
sci-fi. It's actually really
the
hard to
future is
compare
Star
those two.
Trek. The future is Star Trek. But beyond that, circling back to talking about movies, so I saw Mary Poppins Returns this week.
Oh, I'm so
really?
happy you brought this up because I did too.
And
I loved it.
Really?
whereas it wasn't terrible. It wasn't terrible. I liked aspects of it. It was nice being into familiar places but wasn't copying the movie exactly. And I know you're gonna hate me for saying this, but it was cold and sterile. It was cold and sterile.
Is it meant to be a sequel or a reboot?
It's a sequel.
sequel.
It is a sequel?
I disagree.
Really weird
I
to
thought
do a
it-
sequel
It was
this
cold
long.
and sterile.
After.
I thought that the
warmth was gone.
Music was beautiful.
No, the music was good.
And there was so many really nice love letters to the original.
I had a
like,
major issue with Mary Poppins. Who played Mary?
Emily Blunt.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like Mary.
Well, and the music was Lin-Manuel Miranda.
Yeah,
Yes.
and that was good. That was good. But so Julie Andrews playing Mary Poppins, fantastic, dynamite. I love it. Right? She played a complicated character that was snarky sometimes, but nurturing and warm.
She
the
played
entire
a Time Lord.
Yeah. But that being said, Emily Blunt's rendition of Mary Poppins was basically just like, I'm going to put it all into sarcasm and being an asshole to these kids. And there were not moments of warmth like...
There were, though. I disagree with that. There were very, with the... Well, I mean, we're not going to break this down scene by scene.
Yeah, no.
But
we'll talk
have
about
to
this
talk
later.
about this later. But I disagree with that. I thought Emily Blunt was really, really good. Obviously, you can't touch Julie Andrews.
You cannot.
No,
Funnily
because
enough, I've
she's
seen-
dead, isn't she?
No, she's alive.
Really? Julie Andrews is still alive?
Pretty sure.
I've seen 2 movies this week. One of them had a cameo from Julie Andrews.
Oh, that's fair.
That was not Mary Poppins.
Angela
Interesting.
Lansbury had the
It was,
cameo.
yes,
in-
Angela Lansbury had the...
Angela Lansbury's still alive?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She did a song and it was gorgeous. It was fantastic.
I was really hoping that the movie would just jump
Julie Andrews is
into-
only 83?
Yeah, man.
Holy crap.
And she's
she's in Aquaman.
35.
That's fucking weird.
She's in Aquaman.
Aquaman. No, yeah, I was really hoping that Angela Lansbury would veer into Bedknobs and Broomsticks for a second because
She's 93. Goddamn.
and she doesn't look over a day over 78.
As she has her entire life.
Yeah, well, I
never
mean,
changed.
have you guys seen Bedknobs and Broomsticks?
Yeah, of course.
Have you?
No.
Dan's
So-
like, can we move on from this discussion?
for anyone out there that hasn't seen Bedknobs and Broomsticks, I have a couple of buzzwords and catchphrases that will certainly tickle your fancy. World War II, witches, Nazis, ghost army,
Okay. You have my attention.
musical numbers,
Losing it a little
Lost
bit.
it. Dan's like, I'm out.
ghost army fighting Nazis.
Okay.
I actually have not
Angela
seen this
Lansbury atop a broom leading a charge.
Okay.
Nazis getting their asses kicked.
I'm sure I can overlook the musical numbers in favor of the rest of that.
Yeah,
concept.
it is a classic film.
I
It's
actually
awesome.
have this is one that I regretfully have never seen. I've known
Really?
it exists. Yeah.
Oh, man.
I really need to. I know it's
Been a real long time.
Basically,
since,
it's like-
since I've seen it.
They took that the Mary Poppins formula of like, someone has to take care of these kids, misfit kids, blah blah. Blah. Magic, transfer into a cartoon thing for a second, kind of like that, and then jump back into reality, and then oh no, real world's coming in, and it's the Nazis, and they get their asses kicked. Did I mention how much I've loved watching Nazis get their ass kicked in movies because I love it?
Oh yeah.
I mean, nothing wrong with that.
Absolutely not. Hang on.
I mean, watching Hitler get punched in the balls in Kung Fury was top notch.
Yes. The defeat of the Kung Führer.
Yeah.
I saw Into the Spider-Verse.
Ooh, okay.
Yesterday.
I've heard a lot of good things.
That is the best Spider-Man movie that's ever been made. Don't get me wrong, Tom Holland's great. Love Homecoming, love all that. Their animation style for Into the Spider-Verse was just fucking outstanding. And their casting and the writing and everything is just blissful perfection. It's, you know, and fuck, man, I will never be able to see another Stan Lee cameo without crying.
They have a Stan Lee cameo.
They have a Stan Lee cameo, and like I'm tearing up just like thinking about it because I watched Venom after Stan Lee had passed. I figured that they probably weren't going to do a very good job with it, and so kind of put it off. But I still had an interest in seeing it, and so I finally saw it. And there's a Stan Lee cameo in that, and instantly, tears, instantly. And Into the Spider-Verse, Stan Lee, done. It's just a switch now, and it's going to be a while before I personally am able to get past that. But that was rough.
You would have loved the Pop Culture Museum at my. I went and saw the Marvel exhibit, obviously, and they had like the whole first hallway was like Stan Lee like kind of pulling Marvel out of the dump pile, really, and just like it was really tastefully done, and it just so interesting and so cool, and it was definitely one of those. Same thing with me. I was just like,
I'm sorry, Spider who?
James Spaderman.
Oh yeah.
Spider Ham, actually.
Yeah.
Spider-Ham was pretty great. But yeah, I highly recommend Into the Spider-Verse. It was absolutely outstanding. And I also watched Bird Box, which is that new Netflix
Sandra
horror
Bullock
flick. Yeah, Sandra Bullock.
Bird Box sounds like a terrible subscription service.
I was thinking the exact same
for
thing.
like Audubon Society enthusiasts, It's like, well, it comes with some bird AMSR.
ASMR, yeah.
Just scratch
If
it
you're
on
lucky,
the
we'll
box.
send you a whole bird corpse in your box.
Then we can just redo the dead parrot sketch. From
This is an ex-parrot.
It has joined the choir invisible.
You assemble your bird bone by bone.
Yeah,
It's an IKEA directions.
It was very good, and I was not expecting it to have the Cthulhu tones that it did.
Oh, because I read a little bit about it this morning when I woke up, is that it has something to do with a post-apocalypse?
Kind of. There's something that's making people go crazy, and they see something that no one else can see, and they immediately commit suicide.
Oh, okay.
What? Wait,
Yeah.
that's the...
Suicide.
That's the premise of Bird Box, right? And so the thing is that
You see, I thought you were gonna launch into like a MASH joke for a second. But nope.
suicide is painless.
Brings on many changes, and I can take and leave it. Or leave it.
But no, it's like the imagery is intense. They
They were
never.
camping.
Damn it! I hate that. My brain went to that joke too.
Sorry.
I hate it.
They never show the antagonists. There's no creature reveal.
Excellent.
There's zero creature reveal at all. But the way that this whole thing plays out is very reminiscent of Cthulhu mythos, where some people when they look upon these things, they see something that is essentially their greatest fear or something like that. Like that's how they describe it, and they kill themselves. And it's kind of akin to the bit of the mythos where observing an elder god, your brain is not can't process what it's observing, and so it will drive you crazy.
Okay.
And in this case, there are some people with the capacity to witness it, and they're crazy, and they essentially are cultists who try and get other people who are avoiding, viewing these things, to gaze upon them, to witness them, and force them to see these creatures.
This sounds actually super cool.
So, it's not a manifestation of your greatest fear. It's just you see something that you can't comprehend, and you go
right. But the way that they describe it is that you see something that is your greatest fear. That's the way they kind of describe it.
Like how Tyler's greatest fear is a unicycle made of clowns being ridden by a clown made of unicycles.
It's actually Ryan in a banana hammock.
By the way, for further reference, if we need them, we do have 2 unicycles at my house.
We do need them.
Okay.
Yeah.
There was one year that we had this hatch.
I want to know why we need them.
For so on Thanksgiving when you you go down to the park and there's people playing football because it's Thanksgiving sometimes.
Yes.
So we were like, you know what we should do? We're all going to learn how to ride these unicycles, and we're going to do unicycle jousting in the middle of a football field on Thanksgiving to ruin everyone's plans. But it'll be so fun, and it never happened because I should have been a plumber because I have so many pipe dreams that. But I'm probably gonna watch that tonight.
It is. I do recommend it. It surprised me. Like it looked interesting enough, and everyone's been going like, oh, it's A Quiet Place 2, Electric Boogaloo, and it's super not at all. Like it's tonally. I guess bits of it are tonally similar in the whole. Be very careful, and there are children, and there's
it's a movie,
all these
so
variables and stuff.
It's a movie, which also A Quiet Place is, so it's totally ripping it off.
Exact same thing.
How dare
But no,
you?
They use cameras to film it. Like, come
and
on,
actors
and scripts.
So
they even had craft services like the other movie did. Fucking ripoffs.
Bird Box was written in 2014 by the frontman of a band.
What band?
I can't remember off the top of my head.
I've
let
heard
me
of them
look this
before.
Please
up
don't
here
be a
real
shitty
quick.
band.
I can't remember them off the top of my head. They're good. They're hit single tip of my tongue. Perfect.
Josh Mallerman, the lead singer of High Strung. The High Strung.
The High
Strung.
From Detroit. Years active 2000 to present. Associated
their
Acts.
producer is Jim Diamond, cousin of King Diamond.
Associate Acts, Floating Action,
King
Guided
Diamond's-
by Voice,
King Diamond's
Guided by
cousin is
Voices.
Earl Sapphire.
They have an album called Dragon
Capital
Dicks,
Years
followed
Dr.
by
Dog.
an album called Clown Car.
I have to say, seeing how frequent their releases are, I assume I probably won't like this band. I can never.
They named an EP Creepy with the EP and Creepy is capital letters. That's pretty clever.
As much as I'd love to get new content from bands I enjoy, any band with a release schedule that frequent is not putting out good music all the time.
You don't think so?
I don't think it's possible.
Well, it is
What if they're
indie
just all
rock,
singles?
indie rock and garage rock.
Garage rock. Carriage
Garage,
house rock. Carriage house rock.
But yeah, so the frontman of this band is the one who wrote Bird Box, the book in 2014.
This is an
it is
adaptation.
based on a book, yes.
Okay.
Well, that has already piqued my interest.
So yeah, I enjoyed it. I thought it was very good. Also, Sandra Bullock, still pretty fucking rad.
Sandra Bullock's
She's a very good actress. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, have you guys seen Miss Congeniality 2?
Duh.
Well, I don't know. That movie
Top 5
was
favorite
rad.
movies.
Was it seriously?
Yeah, that's what it's
Really?
Yeah,
It's never been on my radar.
I'm not kidding. It's actually a pretty good movie.
You add Sandra
Okay.
Bullock to anything, and
So,
it's a good movie.
Sandra Bullock, and you have callback from the first one, which was also good. But you have one of the plot things is William Shatner being held hostage on the sinking treasure ship at Treasure Island in Las Vegas.
Okay.
Okay, yeah.
All right.
And they thought that somebody wouldn't notice. And they thought, we can get away with this. But I was there. The music that they used for the whole dramatic, pirate ship scene in Las Vegas is the same score that was used in Chicken Run.
What?
Not kidding. I would know because since Chicken Run
You
came
mean
out...
that amazing Mel Gibson vehicle?
Yes. The tricycle in the movie? Chicken Run. Well, I mean, I'm an Aardman Studios
Of course.
fanboy because Wallace and Gromit.
Yes.
It's cracking.
Put your head between your legs and kiss your bum goodbye.
Sure.
Yeah.
Cool.
You're welcome for that. All right.
Cool.
You're welcome.
Tyler killed the joke. Okay. Now we
Good.
can never say it again.
Good.
Tyler Launcher.
Oh man.
Oh man. So what else did you guys do besides watch groundbreaking films and films featuring cold, lifeless reanimations of former properties that people hold dear?
Yeah, Dan, you've been pretty silent. What have you been up to?
I was sick all week, so I spent most of my time chained to my bed with a priest splashing holy water on me to exorcise this demon.
We're sorry about the
You
change.
forgot about the time that we got drunk and went to McDonald's in the middle of the night.
Yeah, that was actually me astral projecting.
Asshole projecting.
Did the sickness keep you from Neo?
Not really. That's hard to do. Still crushing that. I did start playing another game though. I finally started playing Enter the
Blasphemy.
Gungeon. That one's been sitting in my
I
library for a
love
while.
Enter the Gungeon.
I'm gonna hit that after the Steven Universe RPG.
Yeah, I love Enter the
I'm
Gungeon.
loving it. It's difficult in all the right ways. It has a lot of little references to things that crack me up. Like you
Yep.
get the wind-up gun from Futurama, which cracked me up. Yeah, a lot of gun puns.
Yeah.
And I love shitty puns, so Enter the Gungeon is perfect. And then they have that Gungeons and Dragons expansion, which gives everything like a D&D theme.
Yes.
Fucking really enjoying that game. It's nice to play, 5 to 6 deaths, and then I jump back into Neo.
Yeah. I have been a very big fan of Enter the Gungeon, but it is extremely fucking challenging.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Extremely challenging.
Even for someone like me who, plays these games all the time, anything that's that
Even
style.
for someone like me who is a significantly better gamer than you, noob.
I mean, yeah, I probably am.
Excuse me, this next part of the podcast is for true gamers only.
Hey, I openly said earlier on a different podcast that I'm not a fan of the get good culture.
Yeah.
I enjoy
get
playing
good.
hard games, but I don't want to be a gatekeeper about it. I want people to
Nope.
play them.
Yeah.
I want you
Yeah.
to succeed at playing hard games.
Which is why Dan and I have decided that we're gonna make Tyler play a game that he hasn't played instead of us playing it.
What game is this? Or is it going to be a surprise? Are you just going to blindfold me and then
No.
No, yeah. Essentially, we're going to be playing some Mega Man coming up, and since everyone and their fucking mother has played Mega Man X
And-
as a Let's Play or whatever, I mean, it's a great fucking game, so I get
wonderful.
it. But instead of us doing the same thing that's been done a million times, we're going to make you play it.
Yay!
Because you haven't played it, and we're gonna talk over you.
Yay!
'Cause,
And everyone's going to get to watch how bad I am at video games.
but that's the point.
In favor of this. I fully approve of this.
Yeah, I mean, Dan's really good. Like I was watching him play the other night at the Grid before Downtown Brown. Was
Yep.
that?
Yeah.
And he's pretty good. I'm kind of rusty. I'm not gonna lie. I'm a little rusty when it comes to the older ones. Shake that that rust off. I can't wait to make him play Mega Man Zero because we got a little taste of that music the other day.
Oh, yeah.
And that stuff was some rockin' tunes right there. But
Hell yeah.
it's only fun if you're a big fan of anything like Mega Man or Mega Man X or Mega Man Legends or
Mega Man.
Star Wars, or like if it's accessible to other people. And you, not being a Mega Man person, will know and have a different experience than we have had.
This is true.
But it's still going to be cool because, other people are going to be able to relate to that.
Yeah. And Mega Man X is not hard as balls, so you'll be okay.
No, it's not.
It's
Mega Man X3,
It is
though,
one of the easiest entries in the series by far.
And then we'll
I
make
probably
Mega
will
Man X7.
still make an ass of myself
And it
because
is-
I am not good at
It is
anything
classic
anymore.
and set standards that were then taken on by a number of like it is used as a point as reference.
Yeah.
For a lot of mechanics and
I-
games still today.
Well, one of my favorite videos has makes a really good point about talking about how the Mega Man franchise teaches you how to play the game.
I know
very
exactly
well.
what you're talking about. Ego Raptor's
Yeah, the sequelitis.
Yeah.
And like I watched that for a few years ago, and I was just like, he's absolutely right. He's absolutely right. But like for real, it's great. It's great.
No, and it's stuff that I never would have even thought about. It's telling you without telling you.
I just want to shoot lemons with my friends.
Learn by doing.
Which that's one of those tenets of game design that I feel like so many developers just completely ignore.
Well, I
It's
mean,
like the ability to
It fell off the moment people started just putting tutorial menus in their game. Like, you don't have to teach anybody to play our special tutorial level. Make sure you read the button inputs on your screen.
When the intro to Final Fantasy X was 2 hours, you were still 2 hours into the game getting how to play the game prompts.
Kingdom Hearts 2, cough, cough.
Fuck
you, Roxas.
If there are any game developers listening, don't treat your audience like they're idiots.
Well, the thing is that there is a section of their audience that is going to need that, and so in order to help bridge the gap and bring more new gamers in and not make a lot of assumptions about your ability to play a game or ability to understand these certain elements, they seem to go the easiest way out, which tends to be the
pop-up. You have to press this button now.
But I don't think that really teaches
doesn't
you the
teach
best
you.
way. Exactly.
No, I don't think so either. And I think the better way is like what Ego Raptor was talking about in Sequelitis, where he's talking about how they give you visual reference for the way something is going to behave before you actually encounter it.
Yeah.
And things like that. So as you're passing through an area, you may see something that you'll end up encountering down the line, and you see the way it's going to behave before you ever have to react to it.
Yep. I mean, hand-holding is never going to be as an effective method of teaching as actually doing something.
Yeah.
I almost everybody learns better by doing.
Yeah.
Well, and just throwing up little tooltips or, the just read the directions kind of thing, like that doesn't stick in your head.
No, it does not.
Yeah, because it's boring.
Every time a game starts with a fucking blueprint of the controller with lines going to each button, I'm just like,
and you're sitting there going back to it all the time just because they don't really.
I never go to it.
Like,
I just hit buttons until it does the thing that I want it to do, and then I go, okay, it's that one.
Well, there's a quote by Isaac Asimov, famed science fiction writer and influencer of the future, that states that
weird flex, but okay.
the true delight is in the finding out rather than in the knowing.
Mm-hmm.
And so, like when you're playing a video game, it's often way more cool and memorable to be like, oh, I can do this, than being told by some robot thing.
Absolutely. I mean, that's why I've been enjoying Gris.
Yeah.
Like, they're not hand-holding, you're just discovering things.
Also, to bring it back to that Steven Universe game that I was playing, that is an excellent, because Steven Universe is a chiefly a children's show. It is for kids. Adults love it. I love it. I'm a big fan. But when you're licensing a product to make a game with something that kids really like and that kids' parents are going to buy for them, it's like, well, what do you do with that? You can make it just a shitty cash grab kind of thing, or you can take your time with it and be like, this show is going to introduce kids to a lot of interesting concepts. This game should also do the same thing. And so, when it comes to the battle system and using things, it's not like, all right, now you must use this. It does it a couple of times just for things that aren't exactly intuitive. But for the most part, it's just figure it out. And then I came across some fun little cutscenes where one of the characters is playing a video game that Steven recommended them. And was like, yeah, this RPG thing I'm playing. It's like, it's so hard. I don't know what to do. It's like, well, sometimes you have to level up. And it's like some kid playing that's like, oh yeah, I'm playing that game right now.
Yeah.
It's
Cute.
It's super fourth wall breaking, but it was refreshing playing a game that wasn't trying to hold my hand, too much. And it was fun. I love games that are just like, here you go.
Yeah.
You died.
Absolutely.
Get good.
Don't do that next time, stupid.
Yeah, dummy.
I have been another game that I recently picked up that is like that, and you're dropped into something you don't really they don't tell you a ton.
Quap.
Quap. All you need to know is in the title. Those are the keys you use. Have fun. I bought Sundered. Which is a Metroidvania that is again kind of Cthulhu-y. I love Cthulhu Mythos stuff, and Sundered is super interesting in that there are minor explanations for certain things, but for the most part, you're just kind of wandering around, and it's a Metroidvania that's also kind of a roguelike. In that you have an upgrade tree that you have access to when you die. And so they kind of describe the upgrade tree when you die for the first time. They're like, oh, I knew, finally we find ourselves here. And here is this, and you can upgrade things. And they pretty much leave it at that. But when you drop in, there's no clear objective. You have a map that has some icons on that you have no fucking idea what they mean. And so you're just kind of left to run around and check out these things. So
yeah, I mean, the joy of discovery.
Yeah.
The joy of discovery and affirming that you as the player are smart enough to figure out how this works without being told is, goes hand in hand with some of my greatest memories of playing any, video games when I was a kid. It was like, my parents didn't have to tell me to do this because my parents weren't playing this game. I had to read the instruction manual sometimes because that's when there were still instruction manuals in games. And I really missed that a lot because, like, one thing that my dad was super like, so when I got a Game Boy Advance, I got my Game Boy Color for Christmas one year from Santa. My dad was,
from Satan.
What are you saying, Brooks? What were those quotes for?
I'll tell you when you're older. But he
real.
made me sit down and he's like, okay, you got this for Christmas, but before you can play this, you have to read the manual. So you read the manual. He was very much like real men don't read instructions.
Sure.
Because he was like, no, read the instructions because that's what they're there for. And so, like, since then, I read all the instructions for any game that I played because you learn some stuff that isn't sometimes intuitive.
Well,
like in Streets of Rage, like the fun little combos that you can do that aren't just like mash these buttons. It's like, oh, there's actually strategy here.
Yeah.
I liked reading the manuals just because there was always a little bit of lore.
Yeah. Like
and
classic examples, The Legend of Zelda. The first, it was in color.
Yep.
It was in color.
But also there was lore in the for the first Mario Brothers game that was used in a Game Theorist video explaining why Mario is a piece of shit. And I can't remember. Oh, yeah. So here's some fun lore for you. Let me find the actual wording. But
Lorio.
In the manual for the first Mario Brothers game, the lore states that the citizens of the Mushroom Kingdom have been turned into the bricks and things. And this monster goes through breaking all the fucking bricks.
I remember finding out about that when I was like a teenager because my buddy, and I was just like, wait a minute, what? That explains the faces on the bricks.
In the vein of talking about games that are perhaps not so intuitive and require explanation, I picked up a game that's in its alpha stages right now called Sub Rosa. Has anybody heard of this game?
I think so.
I feel like I've seen that somewhere.
Sub Rosa. So essentially, the whole point of the game is you are 3 different like megacorp teams, and different teams spawn with like money, a disc, or nothing, and you all have like an 80s brick cell phone. And the entire point of the game is that you're trying to make money, your corporation, and you fuck with people, so you lie to your other corporations, and the game has in-game voice chat. And the whole point is the controls are. It's not. You're not going to find it on Steam. You have to.
Really?
You actually have to Google it because they don't want you to buy a game that's not done. But the way it works is the controls are awful, but intentionally so. So you're supposed to be clumsy. Your character has like this ragdoll physics, and if you walk off a ledge that's like.
Oh, this game!
Like 6 inches off the ground, you'll just fall over.
The game of shady business.
This sounds amazing.
It's hilarious. It's but you have to act. You can't find it by looking it up on Steam. You have to click that link.
Oh, interesting.
And it's hilarious. I love this game so much. It's great to play with your friends because, especially if you're dealing with people who love to, I guess, like role play and fuck with each other.
The gun sold. Devolver Digital is a publisher.
The gun,
fucking sold.
The gunplay is terrible. The mechanics make no sense. So you have to manually load and unload magazines and store the magazine in your inventory. Pull out a new magazine, put it in the gun.
That's too much work.
And you can. They added recently a mechanic where your hands actually function now, so you can grab people. And there's a lot of opportunities in that for your stupid like ragdolls to grab each other while you're screaming at each other.
Can you throw? Can you throw people?
You can try.
Gotta throw.
The game is very clumsy.
We might have found Brooks.
The car actually in old updates, they're all stick with no automatic setting. Except it's the stick diagram and it doesn't tell you which slot is which gear. So you just have to guess, and it makes like a really loud noise when you shift the car, and people just like shift the gear all the time and just.
Interesting.
It's so great. I fucking love this game.
I don't drive a manual, but I'm familiar enough with the concept via many racing games that I played to know when you're supposed to shift. Like an Outrun.
Yeah, I can't say enough great things about this. If you don't have friends, don't buy it. You won't like it.
Well, damn it.
But if you do have friends,
sorry, Tyler,
play it with your friends. Play it all the time. Scream at each other. Double cross each other.
Is it
do shady business and make some goddamn money?
I'm gonna file a complaint.
Is it
against
couch?
This game. It's non-inclusive.
Is it couch multiplayer?
No, it's one player for one client.
That is.
You could never play that game on the same screen. It's all keyboard. There are too many inputs for you to play this on a controller.
Yeah, sure. I know. It's just I do miss I miss the being able to play a game on a couch
co-op.
Also,
couch co-op. So much.
One of the best parts about it is I love games that have poor in-game mic audio quality. It makes everything funnier. And you can shift the distance so you can set your voice to yell or whisper, and it affects the distance at which other players can hear you.
Sure.
And it's got like that like really crushed like old sounding microphone noise to it.
Yeah.
And you can hear I love I guess you would call it like sort of like the Doppler effect, right? Like people will be talking or screaming as their car is driving by, and you just hear them screaming into the distance. Yeah. It's everything that I love in a multiplayer game. I play my single player games for like that crushing difficulty, but I play my multiplayer games for laughs. So that is everything that I want out of a game.
I tend not to play multiplayer games because I don't like playing with people I don't know, and it's really difficult to get a group of friends, as you know. Mm-hmm. It's really difficult to get a group of friends to all jump into one game and play that game.
I have to schedule in-houses on my Discord just to play this game. I go out of my way and say like I need to get everyone's schedule so we can set up a session just to fucking play this game. God, it's great.
You know what?
It looks like a lot
know
of
what multiplayer game that is fun that you can play on your phone? You guys ever play Space Team?
Yes.
That sounds familiar.
So you know Artemis, the game Artemis.
Yeah.
So imagine that, but on your phone.
Oh yes, I have heard of this. I haven't played it though.
Oh, it is so much fun. Because the stuff that you have to do stops making sense as far as like when you have to shout at somebody else to turn the thing. It's like the Splonger flange. Or,
yeah.
And it's fun. It's fun.
Yeah, I have wanted to play that. It sounds like a lot of fun.
It's a great drinking game.
Truly.
So the original Super Mario Brothers, what it actually says in the manual. Object of the game / game description. One day, the kingdom of the peaceful mushroom people was invaded by the Koopa, a tribe of turtles famous for their black magic. The quiet, peace-loving mushroom people were turned into mere stones, bricks, and even field horsehair plants, and the mushroom kingdom fell into ruin. The only one who can undo the magic spell on the mushroom people and return them to their normal selves is the Princess Toadstool, the daughter of the Mushroom King. Unfortunately, she is presently in the hands of the great Koopa Turtle King. Mario, the hero of the story, maybe. Why is maybe in parentheses? Hears about the mushroom people's plight and sets out on a quest to free the mushroom princess from the evil Koopa and restore the fallen kingdom of the mushroom people. You are Mario. It's up to you to save the mushroom people from the black magic of the Koopa. Yeah, Mario, the hero of the story, maybe. What?
Well,
maybe
if you don't succeed, then he's not a hero.
It's true. And how many poor, defenseless block?
Well, yeah. Now, with that context, it certainly makes him a bit worse.
I'm sure this is something that's kind of like, if people didn't know this, it would just be swept under the rug. This is probably. This is non-canon at this point, I'm sure.
So,
it's totally canon.
It's in the instruction booklet. That's
in the next Mario Party game.
Honestly, I feel like this got explained at some point, and I think it was a localization thing. And I think that this story, this flavor text, was written up by the American localization team.
Savor the flavor!
But
I haven't really had anything nice to say about Nintendo's localization teams throughout the years. A lot of their translations
You're just bitter at Super Mario 2, aren't you?
No, actually. I'm super bitter about Fire Emblem Fates because Treehouse fucked that up.
Is
Fire Emblem a Nintendo property?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
it is. It always has been.
Really?
Yep.
I didn't know that.
Yep.
Huh.
Yeah. Nintendo of America, I think Treehouse is what the localization team was called. God, that's
nice.
Fucked that game up.
Really?
I don't think it was one of the strongest installments in the Fire Emblem series in general, but the translations and the localization just, oh God.
But
God, they were so bad.
Were you the master of unlocking? Were you almost a Dan sandwich?
I'm lost.
Now you're just throwing word salad.
No.
All your base are belong to.
Are you going somewhere?
Yeah, with hilariously bad localization.
All your base are belong to.
Yeah, okay.
That went over my head. Sorry.
Okay, yes.
Yeah, Resident Evil.
You must have found that joke in your mind palace somewhere. I'm sorry.
as I remain here in the Citadel.
Yep.
The Citadel.
So there's been some development in the Soldier Boy.
Ah, yes.
The Soldierverse, if you will.
Yes.
The FCC is gonna yank that Soldier Boy.
Yeah. Nintendo's gonna yank that Soldier Boy. Soldier Watch got a major makeover. I mean, I guess this is what you do with, $5 million in sales without delivering product.
You don't deliver the product. You just
consoles.
put it right
New consoles.
Oh, they've got more consoles
And
now.
this cracks me up because he already...
Is that Link with a gun?
Yeah.
This is my favorite
Is that
thing.
gender bend Link
I don't
with
know.
a gun?
But he already had a handheld console that he didn't call the goddamn Soldier Boy.
Yep.
And then he put out one called the Soldier Boy. I hate
Yep.
this guy. I hate everything about him.
And it's a retro mini, like it's similar to the BitBoy, but worse.
What the
Yeah,
hell?
it's not good.
Unlock
cool choppers.
And
Did they find a Game Boy Color?
Didn't even try to hide what this originally was. The Fuse is an actual game system.
Yep.
It's basically a Steam box, isn't it? I think.
Sort of, yeah.
A Steam box for before the Steam engine was invented.
But
oh yeah, you sold me on Mighty Number 9.
There's a nice $400 system.
Oh, that looks
HDMI,
amazing.
USB, LAN, DC in, and basically Xbox controllers.
Smart design, unite the mini crystal technology. It sounds like a tagline to a bad, cheesy sci-fi.
Soldier Boy's website is about as literate as he is.
Yeah. This whole thing is absolutely ridiculous. And we are obviously not the only ones to have caught on to what was going on here. I was right with the term. It is called drop shipping. He's just drop shipping these. And everyone has kind of agreed this can't be legal. This absolutely can't be legal.
Yes, except for Soldier Boy himself, who tweeted, Nintendo ain't gonna do shit.
Oh, he just tweeted too.
In this world, you can either crank that Soldier Boy or it cranks
that's
you.
That's a pinned tweet because he's so
pinned
proud
tweet
of
from
himself
July
for that
26th.
One.
So where he went on a tirade recently that was just kind of like, you just don't want to see a black man succeed.
I also believe that he literally did this just to generate publicity to try and make a music comeback because he's been musically irrelevant for a staggering amount of time.
And I don't know if you saw this. It does say he's going on tour again.
Yeah.
Again, I don't know if he's been.
Oh, wait. There's.
We might have found it. Living my bestest life.
Yeah.
Have you
I've got the screenshots here if you want me to.
But he's basically saying, go ahead and read from the screenshot.
Soldier Boy is cranking his way into the world of esports.
No, I'm
Y'all
sorry,
don't
dude.
scare me. I'm Soldier Boy.
Yes, he linked an article. Scroll back up a little bit. Right there, it says Soldier Boy is the rap game's misunderstood pioneer, talking about his consoles.
Written by Boljasoy.
Yeah.
Right.
In no way related to Soldier Boy.
Did you say Boljasoy?
In no way related to Soldier Boy.
Did you make that up?
Yes.
Okay. That's good. Honestly, based on everything I've seen here, I wouldn't be surprised if he had an alternate account called Boljasoy. Boljasoy evolves into Ivasoy, which evolves into
Venusoy.
It's the Aloha.
He uses Soldier Beam.
Regionalization.
And apparently this hot new hip hop is super on his side because this is the other retweet that he's done of his, and they say Soldier Boy is an important figure by today's standards. Don't let the console shenanigans fool you.
Yes.
No, he is not.
Probably because they
go
care
down to the
more
Rolling
about
Stone
hip-hop than they do
article.
about video games, which would make sense.
Why y'all not bitching about the other companies selling consoles? Y'all don't want to see a black man get money. LMAO, trying to snitch on me, but I'm not doing nothing wrong. Ha ha, eat a dick. We're at 5 million in sales. Crying, happy, laughing face.
Meanwhile,
of a successful entrepreneur.
Nintendo has a thing or two to say about this.
Nintendo has been petty about less.
Yeah.
And this isn't even a pettiness thing. This is something Nintendo should absolutely be pissed about.
Here's a nice headline. Soldier Boy deletes homophobic tweets made during beef with Nintendo.
Fantastic.
Shocker. Guess what?
Good at that.
People took screenshots of those tweets long before you deleted them.
Spoilers.
That's how the internet works, buddy.
Wait, you can't just delete it from the internet?
No, you can't. It doesn't work. How's nobody learned this yet?
Next thing you know, you're going to tell me that everything on the internet isn't true.
What?
No one would ever lie on the internet, would they?
Yes.
Well, it's a series of tubes.
The internet is a series of tubes.
The internet is a series
Nintendo threatens legal action against Soldier Boy.
There it is.
American rapper, this comes from Nintendo Enthusiast. American rapper Soldier Boy is in big trouble with Nintendo and, at least theoretically, may face jail time. All of this is a result of consoles he recently started selling called the Soldier Handheld and Soldier Game Console. The handheld looks eerily similar to other Nintendo handhelds on the market, namely the 3DS and 2DS. No, it doesn't.
It doesn't.
I'm going to stop quoting them because they're wrong. Soldier Boy was sent a letter by Nintendo's legal team saying that by selling his console, he could be violating the Trademark Counterfeiting Act. That can come with serious consequences such as jail time for up to 10 years for first-time offenders and up to 20 years for repeat offenders. Ouch.
So just so you know, Soldier Boy, jail time only raises your street cred if you actually do something badass.
Yeah.
So if you're trying to do this as a publicity stunt to go to jail to get yourself back into the rap game,
you could
This is like the geekiest way to get.
You probably have to shoot somebody instead.
And
he's going to get a D-pad tattoo instead of a teardrop, right?
It's a whole bunch of T-pad.
to his comment about all these other companies are doing this and you don't call them out, you just don't want to see a black man succeed. All these other companies that he's talking about are Chinese companies that he's getting his fucking systems from. All of these, they are getting shut down and opened up because of China's counterfeit market. Mm-hmm. If this happened in the United States, if one of these companies opened up in the United States, you can fucking bet that they'd be in the exact same position that Soulja Boy finds himself in right now.
They'd probably bomb it with a drone.
What I have a difficult time understanding is how Soulja Boy does not see the legal issue here.
Yeah.
Because it's like, emulation in and of itself, I'm not going to get into that argument because blah, blah, blah. But like, when you're trying to sell something that, number one, doesn't belong to you, like the intellectual property, it's like, how dumb do you have to be to think that that's like, you're not going to get in trouble for that?
So, I suspect Soulja Boy isn't very intelligent, Brooks.
Yeah.
There are several things at play here. One, selling thing. So this is the reason that the BitBoy, the new revision of the BitBoy, comes empty.
Yeah.
The first iteration of the BitBoy, decent hardware, kind of rushed, but came preloaded with games, which is what made it illegal.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And so the new iteration of the BitBoy, they added a micro SD slot, and it comes completely empty from games, which makes it legal.
Yeah.
Now it's up to you to break the law by loading games onto it.
Exactly, or not break the law if you own the games and they're legitimate backups.
Yeah.
Which, being the loophole argument for this hardware's existence. In the case of Soulja Boy, these are systems with games preloaded on them that he has probably no communication with the manufacturer. It's drop shipping, so so that's the big thing, is recognizable properties that you don't own and you have no licensing agreement with, and you are assisting in the resale of their work without compensating the people who made the games.
Yeah.
The license holders. The other issue is all of their imagery is false advertising. Every single piece of imagery is false advertising.
Oh yeah.
Tomb Raider is not going to play on that.
Nope.
And
it's
fucking
the port of the Tomb Raider from the N-Gage. It's gonna play.
Yeah,
on
right. Christ. But and then beyond that, there's things like him retweeting a company. It's like the Super Smash Brothers Ultimate now available for Soulja game console. No, it fucking isn't.
What?
It isn't. It absolutely isn't.
It's not.
Sorry, it's not. No.
What do you mean that Metal Gear Soldier isn't going to work on this?
Yeah, dude.
I do really kind of wish that somehow he
per Soldier 5.
He just took these different properties and just changed the sprite work for everything and just inserted himself as the main character.
Legend of Zelda Skyward Soldier.
Then you could make an argument for fair use, as it's a derivative work.
ROM hacks. ROM hacks are very entertaining.
Yeah.
Yup.
Yeah. Very, very
incredible.
entertaining.
And you also have to bring up, too, the fact that the stupid, his little handheld game, that just looks like he
Which one?
The one that looks like a Game Boy Color?
Yeah.
That just looks like they found a shipment of Game Boy Color cases, like just the casing of the system in an alley somewhere. Like, hey, look what we can do with this.
Welcome to the Chinese counterfeit market. That is what the Chinese counterfeit market is. They either bribe someone to get the injection molds for systems or things, whatever, and they put cheaper electronics in them. And that way they can just resell it as the original, even though the components are completely off.
Yeah.
It's how and sometimes they go out of their way in some of these things. You can buy counterfeit video cards, and you take the video card apart, and you'll find that the memory chips don't add up to the amount of memory that this card is supposed to have.
What?
And while the BIOS may...
I, for one, I'm shocked.
While the BIOS may say the right number, the right model number when it goes to boot up. They hack the firmware on these things, so it'll report a different model number in the firmware. So they'll go so far as to write a custom firmware hack to make the card advertise as though it's something else, even though the hardware components are completely wrong.
Which is crazy.
It's so much work. Just make your own shit. And
it's a lot of work, but you only have to do it once, and then you apply it to cards that you probably spent $5 on.
That's true.
We're dealing with folks that... So my uncle bought... This is not an electronics story. This is a Chinese counterfeit story.
Okay.
My uncle intentionally bought a knockoff Rolex from on eBay from China years ago, and 6 weeks had passed because that's how long it takes anything to get here from China. And he's like, "Man, where's my watch?" He's like, "Where's my watch? I know it's fake, but where is it?" And so he got a package in the mail like 2 days later. After he's just like, "Wow, I don't know where this watch is." The customs label said toy violin.
What?
He opened it up. There was a toy violin.
What?
What the
It
hell?
was not a watch. And so as he was getting ready to return it, he thought, maybe. Took a knife out, popped open the violin. There was the watch.
No
What the
fucking
hell?
way.
There was the watch. Yep. Yeah.
That way they didn't have to pay the customs taxes on such a high item.
Yeah, and I get it. You're trying to save some money. It's just so bizarre, and the idea that the quality that comes with buying a Game Boy. Buying a real Game Boy, there's a standard of quality. But you buy a knockoff anything and you're trying to pass that as something else, it's like no one's gonna believe that that's the thing. It's like, but people that buy this stuff are just people that are just unaware, and so there's literally an entire market out there that tries to sell people things that they don't understand.
Yep.
It's literally there to get that mom who doesn't understand what a Nintendo Game Boy is, and
a huge market for this is also SD cards, memory.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Or hard drives, where it's 400 gig SD card. I can bring up Wish right now and show you 400 gig SD cards that they're selling for $1, but they're not. It's not even close to that.
They're 130, 128.
They're they're probably
400 meg.
Exactly, one of the 128 meg. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's absolutely ridiculous.
1,400 terabyte. For $7.
Because I was curious, did buy a speaker off
Shame
of
on
Wish.
you.
Yeah.
Because they advertised it as the it was the I forget the name of the speaker, but it was like a well-known speaker brand, and it was super. It wasn't a Bose, it was like a jump through. I don't remember.
I'll think of it in a second.
But yeah,
if you don't.
And I was curious because it was normally $300 and it was $20.
It's like a Sennheiser, one of those kind of levels sort of thing.
And I'm like, let's see what happens. And I actually still have it at home. I bought it and it comes and it looks like the speaker that they were advertising. Yeah. And you turn it on.
And it just plays Crank That Soldier Boy.
That's all it does. It's just, and it's on repeat, and you actually can't turn it off. It's actually staying at home. And I had to put it in a lockbox in my closet. It was just crack. Soldier Boy cracked that hoe. Soldier Boy cracked. No.
You just hear your safe vibrating.
No, I hit the on button, and you hear a Windows.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah. Or no, I'm not kidding you. It happened you hear the Windows notification, and I'm like, this is amazing.
Wow.
It works. It's actually not the worst speaker I've ever had, and so I didn't return it.
Not branded.
But
it's a Wi-Fi speaker or a Bluetooth?
It's a Bluetooth speaker.
So like a Sonos kind of thing, or
waterproof Bluetooth speaker.
Okay.
It's I gotta look it up. I forget the exact name. It was a while back.
Well, it actually works better in water. Well, I mean, bootleg
it's actually
culture.
Water powered.
Bootleg culture is some of my favorites.
It's got a water wheel.
Okay, if I could find an electronic thing that could power with a water wheel, You know?
I mean, technically everything could be powered
like
with
out of
a
the
water
box.
wheel.
Out of the box was
Sure.
Yeah, just put this wheel in your sink as you're taking a shower and speaker. No, like bootleg culture is bizarre. It's almost like surrealist art.
Yeah, right. It is very, very interesting, but also illegal as fuck.
Yeah,
stop doing it.
Soldier Boy. Yeah, I am. It. So he is definitely playing chicken, and he's gonna swerve.
It's gonna be great.
Yeah.
And by great, it's spelled GR8T.
I hope if he gets put in a federal prison, they give all of his fellow inmates his consoles for entertainment. And when they don't work, they beat his ass with them.
Yeah.
No. They make his prison cell out of the unsold products.
They
What do you mean unsold products? They've got 5 million in
5
sales.
million sales. Didn't you see it?
Nintendo's
Nintendo's not gonna do
is
shit.
that V-Bucks?
No, it's Nintendo ain't gonna do shit.
Nintendo ain't sorry.
Ain't gonna do shit.
Gonna do shite.
15 new voicemails. Oh
No, this is my personal account. That's not
so you're
We have no new voicemails.
what?
But before we
We could
go
listen
down,
to my amazing voicemail again.
no.
I thought that
before we go down the voicemail rabbit hole, this episode is going to come out on New Year's Eve.
Oh.
yeah.
So I thought that it might be cool to.
I'm not giving you a hand job.
I might.
Well,
I will.
wow,
Weird flex, but okay.
I thought it might be fun to just kind of say what we're fucking stoked for, what we're happy about, instead of ending with rants.
Oh, the anti-rant.
Let's end the year with some happiness going
Highlights.
into 2019.
Highlights. Okay. Well, we did start this podcast this year.
We did.
Yes.
And that is a highlight of my year.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not really sure why it's a highlight of my year, but it is there.
because
I basically go into a room and get abused by 3 other guys.
That
for
is
a solid
exactly
2
why
hours.
it's a highlight of your year.
But it
And
is
how?
That's definitely on my list as well. I've been super enjoying doing the podcast and enjoy my time with you guys, and getting to do this Topless Robot thing in the first fucking place.
Yeah, this is great.
This is
is
amazing.
super rad.
Even if nobody was listening,
Yeah.
I would. This is still fun.
Yeah, absolutely.
yeah, I agree.
I just enjoy coming in and talking to you guys, to be honest. Like, it's just like,
Who are you again? Never gets old.
you love me.
Who?
That's yeah. I think this podcast, you guys, the Topless Robot, our entire Topless Robot team, I am incredibly thankful for all of you, and for the people who do listen to us and listen to our ramblings. I am extremely thankful for you as well, because I mean, shit, it's because we have any amount of traffic that we get to do this thing in the first place. So
Thank you for listening to Tortoise Robert. I mean, as far as like personal things this year, though, this has been an interesting year. As far as just world events, both good and bad. Mostly the latter, but I mean, I would be remiss to just complain about 2018. 2018 was so hard and 2018 sucked. And I'm like, yeah, there's a lot of things that were just not great about this year, but like, I don't know, like the experience of living 365 more days has provided a wealth of entertainment, of knowledge, of laughing is always fun, and getting to sit in a room full of nerds and talk about other things that I don't care or that I not don't care about. Wouldn't normally hear just because of like the kind of people I surround myself with. You know, it's nice to shake it up a bit. You know, it's nice to shake it up.
You know, one of my highlights of this year is, you know, we're finally getting that live action Sonic movie.
Oh my God, no!
You want to get this remainder of this?
No,
that trailer.
We spent
poster.
pretty much the entire episode that you were not here talking about that.
Yeah, we got to let it lie.
I'm happy I brought that back without any knowledge.
We're gonna edit that
happening.
out. Just edit that out. This would be a weird jump cut.
But not for reals for me. Like, honestly, this has been a really tumultuous year for me personally, and
that's what happens when you build your house on an underpass.
Yeah, it's on an underpass.
On an underpass. Exactly.
I thought you were gonna say on an Indian burial ground and then try and make a pool.
Don't bury anything out there. That's all I'm saying.
All right, I'll do my best. But, you know, honestly, I'm just thankful that I have met so many cool people and really...
And us.
I mean, yeah, pretty much. But I've had, like, you guys behind me the whole way this year.
Whoa.
And
yeah.
And I mean that in many ways. But
beside you.
Beside me, thank you.
6 inches away.
Stand by me. Stand by me.
Oh, darling.
Stand away from Tyler.
But yeah, like it's just with the grid and this freaking amazing thing that I never saw myself being in a podcast and talking to people. I never really.
Yeah, there wasn't. I
thought that I
didn't
would
think I'd be here. I didn't think Dan would be here either.
No, I didn't either.
I was actually hoping Dan wasn't gonna be here. But you know, you make do. You said bad and good of the year.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I do thank everyone for even just letting me be a part of this, and I love you guys. And thank you all for listening, whoever is listening. Especially you,
does he
John.
Get that pink slip now or later?
Yikes.
Yeah. So
can you at least wait till after
we
the Christmas
were
party?
excited to have you on board with this project, but going forward,
I think that we want a different tone.
A better tone.
I can change. Please don't let me go. Don't make me go back out there to the wolves.
Now I understand why we couldn't understand those voicemails.
Yeah.
V-Bucks. Seattle. Basement.
Is that what I sound like to everybody? Yeah. How much post-editing do you have to do for just my voice?
Just a lot. Just so much.
A grip.
You actually just replace my voice with something else completely.
I do all the ADR.
It's just someone slapping a wet ham.
It's actually the sound of the
drill dough.
The drill dough. Oh man.
I guess looking forward into 2019, we can almost say 2020 and never look back. But I mean, looking forward into 2019, you know, like, so we have a potential of 2 years left. Or I'm sorry, not to the apocalypse. No, I mean, we're halfway through this weird slog. Things are looking great. It's going to be an interesting year as far as media is concerned. And I look forward to making fun of it all the entire way through.
Yes. Yes.
Oh, man.
2018 was pretty good for me. I don't really have anything bad to say about it, honestly, which is almost probably a first for a year. I got a great job. And looking
Kiss ass.
Yeah. I mean, looking forward, though, we're talking about the future of media coming around 2019. For me, we got Sekiro Shadows Die Twice.
Yeah.
We've got Neo 2. So I'll never be free of this cycle of torment. I'm ready. 2018 was good, but I'm ready for 2019.
Looking forward to Soldier Boy's new console, the Soldier Console 420.
Yeah.
Will that one be jailbroken?
But he won't be.
That was actually pretty good.
Bam. God damn. Tyler, I think you've reached the peak.
Yeah, it's all downhill
from here. We have no voicemails this week. But I want to remind everybody that if you would like to call and leave us a voicemail, you can do so at the phone number 805-222-6287. Leave a voicemail. We'll play it on the podcast, and hopefully it sounds better than Tyler getting kidnapped.
Yeah, I do have to apologize for that.
26287.
And from all of us at Topless Robot, Happy New Year. Hopefully your 2019 kicks some ass. Hopefully you have a kick-ass New Year's Eve. And
whatever you do, don't stare into the sun.
Burst into flames.
We'll see you in 2019. Bye.
Send me V-Bucks.
Bye.
I might still actually be being held captive in that basement, but bye. Happy New Year.
Luke, it says I'm locked out of my account again.